What we once thought was a one-way street and you just can't repair, you can't get over these diseases, you can reset the system and the body can really get rejuvenated in ways that in the future we'll wonder why didn't we work on this earlier? The future of humanity is more like us walking around like Deadpool. We'll probably be cleaner and we won't smell as badly, but Deadpool, if you don't know, can get injured and just recover. It's very hard to injure this guy. And we're going to be the same. There are many species, you cut off the limb grows back.
Salamanders or, yeah.
Yeah, we are now learning how to tap into that system. And in part, what we're doing is reversing the age of those cells and telling them how to read the genes correctly again, reversing the age of that epigenome. And when you do that, the cells, the brain, for instance, the skin, we did the optic nerve.
Let's talk about those results for a second. And then I want to make sure that we return to some of these behavioral protocols. You had this amazing paper at the end of last year, cover article, full article in Nature, showing that essentially a small menu of transcription factors, which control gene expression, et cetera, could essentially reverse the age of neurons in the eye and rescue those cells against damage, essentially allow blind mice to see again and offset degeneration of these retinal cells. Incredible paper, and such a boon to the field. Where does that stand now in terms of human clinical trials? I mean, what are you envisioning in terms of the trajectory of those data from mice into humans someday?
Right. Well, to get to the point immediately, we're going to be testing the treatment on monkeys, just for safety reasons.
Sure.
And then the first patient should be done sometime in 2022, early 2023, and we're going to try to recover blindness.
This involves making an injection of a virus into the eye, right? Right now, there's no way that I am aware of to manipulate these transcription factors through a pill or some other.
That's what we're working on in my lab at Harvard right now. So it will be
pill-based modulation of transcription factors.
Well, yeah, pop a pill and the whole body gets rejuvenated by 20 years. That's what we're aiming for. Now we do it with gene therapy in the eye and other places. So in the eye, yes, it's a single injection. The genes go into the retina and we can turn it on with a drug called doxycycline. And we do that in the mice for 4 to 8 weeks. The eye gets younger. We can measure that because we can measure the clock. And then the vision comes back in those mice. And I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work in people because it's the same structures and mechanisms that are on in the human as well. Now
and it's one injection.
It's one.
I should mention injections into the eye. Obviously, nobody should do this outside of an ophthalmology clinic, and they're definitely by an ophthalmologist. But the injections into the eye are painless if done correctly by the right person. It sounds dreadful, but it's actually I've seen it done hundreds of times. I've done it thousands of times, and it's not to myself, but to other creatures. And there's a way of doing this so it's completely painless to the person.
Oh, you don't feel it. It's a tiny, tiny needle too. But the great thing about this is that it's a one-time treatment. Those genes go into the back of the eye and stay there forever. And you can just turn them on whenever you want. So what we found is you can turn them on in the mice, they get their vision back, and then you turn it off again. And so far, many months out, the benefit has remained. But if it does decline, we'll just turn it back on and reset the system, rinse and repeat. So one day, what's exciting is that we could potentially do this across the entire body and just take this antibiotic every 5 years and go back time and time again.
In thinking about the body and what's going on under the hood, I'm amazed still that there isn't a simple, affordable technology that would allow me to just look into my body and see whether or not there are any tumors growing anywhere. I mean, it's not that hard to look into the body. I mean, that the technology exists. Why hasn't anybody created an at-home or pseudo at-home solution like a clinic where you can go and pay $50 or $100 and see if you have any tumors growing anywhere?